Hello, everybody. This is High Lord Tamberlane again, bringing you another Obscurity in Miniature. Well, not too obscure because it's a privateer press figure, but this is the twins, Brighid and Caul. I'm not sure, are they are a Tharn unit, obviously, with the circle box. They're a set of twins. I want to say they're a solo pair or unit, but my main purpose in purchasing these guys was that they are going to be used for a game of Paleo Diet. And if you're not sure what Paleo Diet is, it is a really cool co-op, AI-driven caveman hunting simulation. But that's enough about that. Let's take a look at these models, because that's what we're here for. So, here are our twins. Brighid, I don't know which is which, because in the days of apps and non-existent cards included, I don't know who's who, but we got the big brother, we got the little sister. I'm assuming this is the big brother, well, at least he's physically larger. We have his headpiece and all of his resin bits here, back loincloth, and his arms. Big honking axe, very cool. He's a big guy. Obviously, he's a lot bigger than his sister, who's a regular 30mm size figure. We've got her bow and arrow, her quiver, her hand, and then we have a pair of antlers that I'm really not sure where they go yet. We'll have to figure that out. I'm too lame to look online and figure things out myself, but I am a big fan of the Tharn. Now, sadly, I don't have many Tharn left because I got an offer that was too good to refuse for the ones that I had painted. This guy seems to be about mid-size between Chromac's regular human form. If you're not sure who Chromac is, he's one of the shape-shifting circle warcasters. But anyway, that's beside the point. Bit bigger than a regular human, but a bit smaller than the giant 50mm stuff. He does sit on a 40mm base. Super, super detailed. He's got that kind of wicker rattan armor that Circle oh so loves. But he's also got all kinds of just bedazzlement going on, I guess, for lack of a better word that I can't think of. Feathers here. We've got all kinds of circles and trinkets, bags, teeth, claws, bones, chainmail, fur, dreadlocks, stuff in his dreadlocks, bones naturally. Over here, more garbage hanging all over him. So my brother was giving me a real hard time. He's like, this guy's going to be a bitch to paint. I'm like, you know what? You're probably right, but considering I actually painted just about every single Tharn model that was out up until these guys release, I feel pretty confident that I will get them done. Now, sadly, the only remaining Tharn model that I have painted is a Blood Witch or whatever they're called. She's right there. And if we can get the little, I should say, human-sized sister. So, good match. She's pretty decked out as well as her larger brother. We got the skulls, we got the usual tassels and tangles and bits of stuff all over her that is pretty typical of the Tharn. A little more human looking, but that tends to be the case with the female Tharn. They don't go all savage and feral like the males tend to. They also don't get warp-wolfed out like, oh, what's that one? There's a big werewolf that's a roided out Tharn. Sorry, it's out of focus. Let's see if I can get that better. There we go. It's a very bestial face underneath the skull mask and the horns and everything. So I'm looking forward to putting these guys together. And so why don't I see if I can stay in focus, and we will grab some glue and see what we have waiting for us. So here we have the little sister, whose name is either Brighid or Caul. We don't know which. I'm thinking she's Brighid, just to give you a sense of scale here, since she's all built up. She's a little bit bigger than the typical Blood Witch or the Blood Trackers or whatever the female Tharn are. She's not massively roided out like her brother, who I have not glued to the base yet, just because it's going to be kind of a pain to get to some of those details of his. But just to give you a sense of size, he is big and hulking and ogre-like. But that's pretty typical of a male Tharn. Most of the Tharn men are on 40mm bases, if not 50s. So this is pretty typical. Just to give you a quick sense of scale for some other figures, a typical 40mm figure from Privateer. We have an example here of a troll. And my perennial favorite of Sergeant Dravagovich. I don't even know if I said that right. So he is, come on, man. A little bit smaller than the other guys, but then again, one's wearing power armor, one's naturally large. One is a crazy, roided out, primitive, almost ape-man-like warrior. So, I'm really happy with him. I keep looking at that left arm of his and wondering if I put it together correctly. But, oh, geez, sorry. That seems to be how it's supposed to go. I mean, it went really flush with the body. A couple of things to point out. For whatever reason, his axe, although there was a nice keyed-in section for the forearm to go into the rest of the arm, it did not want to cooperate with me for quite some time. Head went in fine, other arm went on fine, loincloth in the back went on fine, but the axe did not want to cooperate. His sister, on the other hand, was piece of cake. We also figured out that the antlers actually attached on her back. Ah, crap. Well, you can see where they were attached was right in there. There's a little hole for her. The pose itself is kind of static, I think. Very flat. I was kind of surprised by that. Maybe I built her wrong, which is totally possible, because I'm looking at the way she's holding that bow, and obviously she just fired it or something, but it looks really strange with her hand down like that, so I might fiddle with it some more. But otherwise, for the price, hey, I'm always cool with 2 figures for almost the price of 1, especially when it comes to privateer stuff, which I think is grossly overpriced with their MSRPs, so I'm more than happy to go support local stores that are willing to give a discount on that stuff. Don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of privateers figures. The rules are always tight. It's just I'm not looking for a big, massive game of hundreds and tons of guys play a 50-point game proper. So these days, I don't really do much with the way of privateer outside of grab random figures. So they are a great pair of random figures, and I'm definitely going to get some use out of them, using them as cavemen for Paleo Diet, and I urge you all to check that out. I'll have to do a video on it sometime, especially once the new Reaper Bones set comes in with all the cavemen. But until then, this has been High Lord Tamerlane with another Obscurity in Miniature, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.